Hi there, I'm Matthew Lester from the Rhodes Business School. Here are my predictions for the National Budget speech to be given in Parliament on 27 February 2013. Growth rates are not what they should be. A year ago, Jill Marcus was predicting that South Africa would grow at 2.8%. Lagarde of the IMF was predicting 2.5%, and the Minister of Finance was splitting the difference at 2.7%, saying South Africa would grow by 4.2% by 2014. This is just not happening. My first prediction is that we are not going to achieve the budgeted growth rates that were underpinning the budget for 2012-13. So what? SARS Commissioner Opal Magashula has pointed out that tax collections were growing at 12% before the global credit crunch. They're now growing at 8%, and that's just not fast enough. When one looks at the 2013 budget, they were hoping to get an extra 16 billion rand from companies. Following the disasters of Marikani, that is unlikely to happen due to lost platinum production. The increased levies from fuel are not going to crystallize. They are all going to have to be spent on making up the shortfall caused by the Gauteng toll debacle. Other transaction taxes will probably be on target, but there is a major question concerning the budgeted increased VAT collections as consumer confidence is shattered. This will leave pressure placed on the individual taxpayer once again. My second prediction is that we are looking at an increase in personal tax rates. But who pays the tax in South Africa? There are only about 3 million taxpayers who pay a significant amount of tax. Those in the category 120,000 per annum to 400,000, that's about 2 million of them, and then about 400,000 who earn more than 400,000 rand per annum. They are going to be exposed to the brunt of a personal tax increase. They will leave the bottom brackets more or less alone, but the fiscal drag adjustment will be contained in the middle brackets, and we are looking at potentially at a 42% tax rate in the top brackets. My third prediction is that National Treasury will need more than a personal tax increase to make the 2013-14 budget. Where else can they look? Well, capital gains tax collections have been falling. They must try and make up this difference. Consequently, we may well see a second year of increases in capital gains tax. My fourth prediction is that capital gains tax increases alone will not solve the problem. Well, they could look at VAT in blue, but there is the problem that consumer confidence is not what it used to be, and consequently increasing rates might stagger consumer confidence even further. And then one must look at the big V in tax, Vavi of Kusatu, who has simply said an increase in the VAT rate is unacceptable. So they'll have to look at the smaller taxes. Personal tax can't do it alone. Companies and VAT can't take an increase, so they'll have to go to all the transaction taxes. Last year the increase in sin tax was 7 rand a bottle or 6 cents a beer, and cigarettes were increased to 10 rand 32 a pack. Don't expect any sympathy this year. Of added concern is the fuel levy. With the Gauteng toll debacle, we can expect that fuel will increase by far more than 28 cents a litre this year. My fifth prediction is that there will be a wide range of transaction tax increases, but the VAT rate will not increase. The sixth prediction is that Prof Gordhan will not be able to borrow his way out of the predicament. Therefore, we need to watch out for reference to the Reserve Bank. Jill Marcus is there to keep an eye on the balance of payments current account, and right now there's a problem. We can see on the good side that we look at inward inflows of money in the form of exports and inward investments, and on the bad side, outflows from imports and outward investment. Well, in the last year, we've seen an increase in oil prices, money leaving South Africa due to the international investment deleverage, and then came money leaving the country because of post-Marikani jitters. This has not been compensated for by an improvement in exports or inward investment. As a result, the improvement in the performance of the balance of payments account experienced up to 2010 has now fallen away, and we have a record low in the deficit. This imbalance can normally lead to an increase in interest rates, but what we are seeing in South Africa is that they will no longer apply aggressive interest rate strategy to lure investment back into the country. Interest rates will remain low, and therefore we must budget on an increase in the exchange rates. We can see that in the early part of this year, the rand has weakened. My seventh prediction is that the proposed amendments announced in the course of 2012 for the capping of retirement fund contributions will be implemented. Here are some ideas for survival. Stock up in cigarettes and booze and fuel. It's not really going to help you for long. Review your investment portfolio. Identify exposure to weakness in the rand. Exercise share options prior to a potential increase in the maximum super tax rate. Make retirement annuity fund contributions before capping is implemented, and diversify your risk. One needs to have a look and say, when it comes to investment, why are retirement annuities the answer? Well, if one invests through a share portfolio or unit trusts, we are investing after tax income. That then grows, but the interest is taxable at up to 40%. Dividends tax can be imposed at a flat rate of 15%, and CGT is imposed at 13.3%. Then, when you die, there is a CGT event giving rise to further taxation, and there is estate duty on what's left over. However, if one invests through a retirement annuity, one gets a tax break up front. That can be a 40% discount on investment. These contributions will be capped probably from 2014 at 250,000 Rand per taxpayer under the age of 45, or 300,000 for taxpayers over 45. Interest income while invested will be exempt. Dividends tax is exempt on dividends received by retirement funds, and they are also CGT exempt. And when you die, there is no CGT event, and the accumulated value of your retirement annuity fund is exempt from estate duty. This is making the retirement annuity fund the vehicle of choice for your savings in the future.